Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to mathematics class of grade 8, and today I am going to start the next chapter, that is chapter number 4, practical geometry. So this is my lecture number 1 of chapter number 4, practical geometry. Let us see the topics to be covered in this lecture number 1. First of all, I shall discuss the introduction part of this chapter, that is chapter number 4, practical geometry. After that, I shall discuss in brief the properties of parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle and square, though these properties are to be studied in detail in the next chapter, that is understanding quadrilaterals. So in this chapter, I will just give you the brief recapitulation of properties of parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle and square. After that, we shall recall the construction of angles using compass. Dear children, you already know the construction of angles using compass, but here, as this is the lecture number 1 of chapter number 4, practical geometry, so firstly we will recall the construction of angles so that it will be easy for you to draw the angles properly in the exercises. Now, dear children, you have already learnt how to draw triangles in class 7. As you must be aware that we require 3 measurements to draw a unique triangle. 3 measurements we need to draw a unique triangle. But here in this grade 8 and in this chapter number 4, we shall study how to draw a unique 4-sided closed figure. And what is this 4-sided closed figure called? Quadrilateral. So we shall study how to construct quadrilateral in this chapter. As you have already studied how to draw triangle using 3 measurements in your class 7. Now in this grade 8, we shall discuss the construction of a 4-sided closed figure. And what is the name of this closed figure? 4-sided closed figure? That is a quadrilateral. So we shall learn the construction of quadrilaterals in this chapter. Now let us suppose I am making a rectangle of length 10 centimeter and breadth 8 centimeter. And dear children, you must know that opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So this is again 10 centimeter, length is 10 centimeter and breadth I am taking 8 centimeter. Now, dear children, this triangle has been created with the available 4 measurements. You can see 4 measurements are given to us and we have made a rectangle. Now, what will happen if I push this rectangle along the width of this rectangle? Width is 8 centimeter. So what will happen to this rectangle if I will push this rectangle along the breadth? So let us see, is the shape obtained still a rectangle or not? Let us see, or I will be pushing this rectangle along the breadth and I will be making a new shape, and then you can see what will happen to the shape of this rectangle. So I am pushing it along the breadth of this rectangle. So if I will push this along the length, along the breadth of the rectangle, I will be getting a parallelogram. What is this shape called? This is a parallelogram. That is, I am giving the name A, B, C and D. This is 8 centimeter. This is 10 centimeter. This again is 10 centimeter. And this is 8 centimeter. I am giving the name to this rectangle also. This is A, B, C and D. Or you can write like this. This is D and this I have made it B. Now you can see the shape of the rectangle. Now it has become a parallelogram. You can see the opposite sides are parallel. And one more thing you should observe, you must have observed that the measurements of the sides remains the same. The shape of this rectangle has become a parallelogram, but the measurement of the sides, that is length and breadth, remains the same. Now, dear children, if I will give another push to the newly obtained shape in a different direction, then it will be a parallelogram like this. It will be a parallelogram like this. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. This is 10 centimeters. This is again 10 centimeter. The breadth is 8 centimeter as we have originally taken of rectangle. So we have given another push to the newly obtained shape, and you will get again a parallelogram which is altogether different, yet the measurements of the sides are same. This shows that 4 measurements of a quadrilateral cannot determine it uniquely. This quadrilateral remains same, that is, earlier originally we were having rectangle, then we have pushed it along the breadth, and 2 different pushes we have given, and we obtained the different shape, that is a parallelogram, but the dimensions of the rectangle which we have taken earlier remained the same. So 4 measurements of a quadrilateral cannot determine it uniquely. Let us talk about 5 measurements. Can 5 measurements determine a quadrilateral uniquely? Let us find out now. Now, dear children, I have made the rectangle, but I have made one change in the rectangle, and the change is that I have introduced the diagonal. That is, I have made a diagonal, that is BD. Now, dear children, if you will try to push this rectangle along the breadth, you will not be able to change the shape. Why? The reason being, because we have introduced this diagonal, that is BD, and you can imagine also that if you will be trying to push it along this 8 centimeter, we cannot alter the shape of this rectangle without opening the figure. So the introduction of this 5th side has given a rectangle unique shape. So we observe that 5 measurements, this is our 5th measurement. We have introduced the diagonal. 4 measurements were already available to us, and we have seen that when there are 4 measurements available with us, we can alter the shape provided the measurements remains the same. But using the 5 measurements, we can determine a quadrilateral uniquely. We can construct a quadrilateral uniquely if we are having 5 measurements. Now this is a unique quadrilateral or a rectangle because this will remain same. If you will alter this, the length of this BD will change. If you will try to push it or along this breadth 8 centimeter, the length of this diagonal will change. So this will not be a unique quadrilateral then. But here if you will try to change or push the rectangle along the breadth 8 centimeter, you will find that we are not able to change the shape of this given rectangle. So 5 measurements can determine a quadrilateral uniquely. So how many measurements can determine a quadrilateral uniquely? You have seen that 5 measurements can determine a quadrilateral uniquely. So let us talk about the properties of parallelogram. Dear children, I will be briefing you the properties of parallelogram. The properties we will be studying in detail in the next chapter. So the properties which will be helping you in this chapter, I am discussing these properties only. Rest properties will be discussed in the next chapter. So properties of parallelogram, you must be aware that opposite sides, the very first property which will help you is opposite sides of a parallelogram are of equal length. And the next property which may help you is opposite angles of a parallelogram are of equal measure. are of equal measure. So these are the two properties of parallelogram which will help you to construct the parallelogram. So now the properties of rectangle. If one angle of a parallelogram is a right angle means it should be, if it is 90 degree, then it is called a rectangle. So if one angle of a parallelogram is a right angle, then it is called a rectangle. And the property which will help you is all the angles of a rectangle are right angles. Now the properties of rhombus. What is a rhombus? If two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, adjacent, I am explaining, most of you must be aware that these two sides are adjacent. AB, BC are adjacent to one another because they are having a common vertex. If two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are equal, then it is called a rhombus. And the properties of rhombus are all the sides of a rhombus are equal. You can see these two are adjacent, these two sides are adjacent, that is BC is adjacent to CD, CD is adjacent to AD, so all the sides of a rhombus are equal. Now let us have a look on the properties of square. If two adjacent sides of a rectangle, this is a rectangle, if two adjacent sides of a rectangle are equal, then it is called a square. Properties of square are all the interior angles of a square are right angles. All the interior angles of a square are right angles. Next property is all the sides of a square are equal. All the sides of a square are equal. So these are the properties of square. Let us now recall the construction of angles using compass. So here, firstly, I am making a line segment AB of length 5 centimeter. Or I am changing the length, I am taking it off 10 centimeters so that it will be more clear to you. So after that, from this point, I am marking it A and this is B. From this point A, you are supposed to make a semicircle. I am making a semicircle, you can see. Now after that, you are not supposed to move the compass or change the dimension of this compass. From this point, place an arc. This is an arc of 60 degree. From this point, place an arc. This arc is of 120 degree. And from this point, place another arc, and that will be of 180 degree. So this first arc is 60 degree, 120 degree, and this is 180 degree. So with the help of scale, you are supposed to join the arcs. Now like this. this arc should lie in the straight line, same line. You can erase the extra part as I am erasing. So this is your point A. Now dear children, you must have understood how to make the angles, and if you are supposed to make the angle of 60 degree, you can erase the extra part and give the proper naming to the line segment. This is your exactly AB. Now if you are supposed to make the 30 degree angle, so what you are supposed to do, place your compass here, open half of this arc and place an arc like this, and from this point again place an arc like this, so this angle will be of 30 degree. Likewise, if you are supposed to make 90 degree angle, from this point place open the compass more than half of this arc, place an arc like this, and from this point again place an arc like this. That will be your 90 degree angle. Now if you are supposed to make the angles this side, I am now making the angles this side like this. I am making, wait for 1 second. Now suppose you are supposed to make the angles on this side. So I will be making a semicircle. This is my semicircle. After that, from this point, from inside of this point, like most of the students, what they do, they just place the arc from this point outside this line segment. As the lines, there is no line segment out beside this point B, so you are supposed to place the arc from this. Let us give a name to this point, that is P point, or you can give O, any name of your choice. So you are supposed to place the 60 degree arc from this point P. Like this, I will be placing one arc, that is 60 degree. Then I will be placing another arc, that is 120 degree. And again an arc will be placed of 180 degree. So like this, you are supposed to place the arcs from P point, not from this point outside the line segment AB. I hope rest procedure is same to make the angles, and this is 60 degree arc, this is 120, and this is 180 degree. Likewise, you can make 90 degree angles and other angles also. Now, while constructing a quadrilateral, you are supposed to make the rough sketch first, so that you should have an idea what is diagonal, what is the angle, and what are the dimensions of the line segments. First of all, you are supposed to make rough sketch. I will be explaining few questions of exercise 4.1, and after making the final sketch, you are supposed to write steps of constructions also. So firstly, make the rough sketch to get an idea which is diagonal given to us, what are the angles given to us, and what are the dimensions of the line segments given to us. And after making the final sketch, you are supposed to write steps of constructions. I will be discussing the questions of exercise 4.1 so that you should have a clear picture of what is supposed to be done. Let us start questions of NCERT exercise 4.1. Question number 1 is construct the following quadrilaterals. I am discussing first part. Rest of the parts you can do it on your own. First part is you are supposed to construct quadrilateral ABCD. And dimensions are given, that is AB is given to you as 4.5 centimeters. BC is given to you as 5.5 centimeters. CD is 4 centimeter. AD is equal to 6 centimeters. And AC is given to us as 7 centimeter. As I told you, dear children, firstly, what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to make the rough sketch of all these dimensions, and after that, make the or place the arcs using the compass, and then you will get a quadrilateral, and after that you are supposed to write the steps of constructions also. Let us see now how to make this quadrilateral ABCD with the given dimensions. So this is exercise 4.1, question number 1. These are the dimensions. Firstly, as I told you, you are supposed to make the rough sketch of a quadrilateral. As I told you, that quadrilateral is basically a four-sided closed figure. Now you can draw the rough sketch like this. I am making a rough sketch. With the free hand, you are supposed to make the rough sketch. Like this, you can make a quadrilateral. I am giving the name like this: A, B, C and D. AB is given to us as 4.5 centimeters. BC is given to us as 5.5 centimeters. CD is given to us as 4 centimeters. AD is given to us as 6 centimeters. And AC, that is the diagonal, is given to us as 7 centimeters. Now, dear children, there are two ways to make this figure. Either you can make in this manner, the way I am showing, you can take AB as base, and then accordingly from B you can place the arc, and from A you can place the arcs, and from C and D respectively. Another way to make this figure is you can take this AC as base. I will be taking, this is the simple way. In this same manner you can construct your quadrilateral, but I am explaining the other way, that is AC I am taking as base, and then I will be making the arcs upside and downside, and I will make you can see clearly then how a quadrilateral is being constructed. So I have made the line segment AC as base, and this I have taken 7 centimeters. After that, from point A, I am taking this AC as base, so I am making B in the upward direction, and point D I will be taking in the downward direction. So I am taking AB, that is 4 centimeter in the upward direction. 4.5. So from this point A, place an arc like this in the upward direction, and this is 4.5 centimeters. After that, from C, taking C as center, you are supposed to draw an arc of radius 5.5 centimeters. This point I am taking B, and BC is given to us as 5.5 centimeters. So I am measuring 5.5 centimeter, and then I will be placing the arc taking C as center. This is now 5.5 centimeter. I have taken C as a center, and I am placing the arc. So this point is our B. Now you are supposed to join AB and BC. So this ABC, this we have constructed. Now let us take D now. With A as center, we are supposed to take D and measure 6 centimeter, as AD is 6 centimeter. So from this point A, place an arc in the downward direction taking A as a center of measurement. AD is equal to 6 centimeter. Like this I will be placing the arc. Now I want to make CD. CD is 4 centimeter. You can see here the dimensions. So taking C as center, cut this arc, and CD is of measurement 4 centimeter. So I am placing the compass at C, and you can see here the arc I am marking. So as you can see, these two arcs are not cutting each other. So you can place a little bigger arc for AD like this. I am doing it. Now you can see that they are being cutting at one point. So this point is D, and I am joining AD and CD. So, dear children, you can see that your quadrilateral is ready. AB dimensions, you are supposed to write the dimensions. I am writing the dimensions. AB is 4.5 centimeters. BC is 5.5 centimeters. CD is 4 centimeters and AD is 6 centimeters. So dear children, it is up to you. You can make the quadrilateral in this manner or the way I have made it. I have taken AC, that is the diagonal, as base. Now, as I told you, dear children, after the final sketch, you are supposed to write steps of construction. Now, I will be telling the steps of construction for this question number 1 first part, and for rest of the questions, you are supposed to write the steps of construction on your own. The very first step is draw a line segment. We have made a line segment AC. The very first step is draw a line segment AC equal to 7 centimeter. Second, what we have done, taking A as center, draw an arc of radius 4.5 centimeters in upward direction. In upward direction. And the third step, what we have done, taking C as center, draw an arc of radius 5.5 centimeter, which will cut the previous arc at point B. Join B to A and B to C. This is all we have done till here to get the point AB, to get the point B, and after that we got AB and BC. Then if you remember the figure, what we have done next, taking A as center, We have drawn an arc, and you will be writing draw an arc of radius 6 centimeter in downward direction and then after that what we have done, taking C as center, draw an arc of radius 4 centimeter which will cut previous arc at D. Join A to D and D to C. Hence, ABCD is our required quadrilateral. So this is ABCD is our required quadrilateral. So dear children, in this chapter number 4, first of all, we have learned that 5 measurements can determine a quadrilateral uniquely. After that, we have recalled the properties of parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus and square, and then we have recapitulated the construction of angles using compass. Now it's time for the homework. So dear children, you are supposed to complete exercise 4.1 in your homework notebooks. I hope with the help of the concepts taught in this lecture, you will be capable enough to make the constructions of quadrilaterals. And firstly, you are supposed to make the rough sketch in every question, and then after the final sketch, steps of constructions are also required. So you are supposed to write that also and complete this exercise 4.1 in your homework notebook. And if still you have doubt, and those doubts will be resolved in your online classes. That's all for today. Thank you so much.